1968 is an important year for me because it's the year during which, or the time during which, an emergent feminist consciousness, not so much gender separate from other issues, but an emerging consciousness of the interconnectedness of racism and capitalism and sexism, of course.
And do you think 50 years later, uncannily, we might be living through another such moment? Me Too, Black Lives Matter,
Of course,
left-wing and right-wing politics, one could argue at the extremes competing with each other.
Well, of course it's interesting. History never replicates itself, but I think that what we are witnessing today are some of the fruits of the struggles that are associated with 1968. Certainly the emergence of a worldwide feminist movement, the women's resistance to the election of Donald Trump and all that that has meant in creating a kind of global solidarity against the Trump administration and the militarism and the racism that it entails.
Is it the fruits of what you were trying to do in 1968, or is it an indication that what you were trying to do hadn't come to fruition, hadn't actually reached a conclusion, was unfinished business?
Well, I think we've learned a great deal since 1968. In 1968, many of us who were involved in radical movements really believed that the revolution was around the corner. And of course, there were major shifts happening all over the world. The African liberation movement, the Cuban Revolution, the Vietnam War. We were convinced that the world was going to change, and we were going to be a part of an anti-capitalist, anti-racist revolution. Our awareness of gender was not as complex as it could have been, as it should have been, as it is now. So I think today we are witnessing a certain continuity between the consciousness of the 1960s, 1968. But this is a period in which certainly women are on the rise, and that's very exciting because women were pretty much in the background in 1968, with the exception of a few individuals and a few movements.